Hi, we are the Portland Shoe Supply. Our group is comprised of Sebastian, Kat, Macy, and myself, James. Today we will be going over our business's import plan. With that, we will be covering a quick description of our firm's business, the choice of the country as well as the supplier that we chose, methods of transportation and carriers that we use, our itinerary, documentation, our packaging requirements, intermediaries used, and our terms of sale and payments. We, the Portland Shoe Supply, are a medium-sized shoe company located in Portland, Oregon. We are a mostly local vendor and we make most of our products in-house. However, the item that we do import are our shoelaces. We import our shoelaces from Fujian, China. Our company's location in Portland is a very strategic spot because it provides us with an easy access to our city's port, where the bulk of our shipments come in. Also, our location enables us to use our international airport, which is located only miles away from our location for the emergency orders that we require to be shipped very quickly.
Portland. Who we are is right there in our name. We live at the confluence of rivers, roads, railroads, and runways. And for more than 100 years, the Port of Portland has been the region's gateway to the rest of the world. By sky, by land, and by water, we keep things moving. For most locals, hearing the phrase Port of Portland conjures images of ships and docks and multicolored shipping containers. But it's so much more than that. You rely on the Port of Portland when you're shopping in town or flying somewhere for the holidays. Whether you're on your way to Paris or Pensacola, when you fly out of PDX, you do it with the help of the Port of Portland. From your parking to your baggage check to that last cup of coffee at the gate, we're taking care of you. Every day, we carry people and ideas back and forth to Asia, Canada, and Europe, connecting the world's enterprising minds with the trailblazing businesses of the Pacific Northwest. Many of the region's imports land here first before going to distribution centers, where they're sorted and shipped to all corners of the United States. The Port of Portland owns and manages 6 industrial parks that employ tens of thousands of workers, bringing substantial returns to the local economy. Last year, ships on the Columbia and Willamette rivers transported millions of products to and from world markets, keeping the Northwest competitive and thriving and ensuring the region's continuing role in global trade. Ships arrive at port with a wide array of goods, like cars, furniture, clothing, and toys for distribution to regional stores. And ships leave with locally grown exports such as Pacific Northwest wheat to help feed the world. The Columbia River Channel was deepened to handle the larger ships that serve today's trade routes, making it easier to share our local bounty with markets across the globe. When it comes to the beautiful Pacific Northwest, this isn't just where we work, it's where we live, and we're protecting it. It's all part of our efforts to keep our environment and our economy thriving. From our use of 100% renewable power, to porous asphalt and bioswales, to bike routes to the airport. The Port of Portland considers every opportunity to minimize its impact, because we believe that the port should be as green as the community it serves. After all, we want what you want, for Portland to remain thriving and beautiful. We're truly honored and proud to serve this community every day, by sky, by land, and by water. The Port of Portland takes you where you want to go.
Now I will be going over the reason why our company decided to import our supply from China. The main reason that we chose to have our shoelaces imported from our manufacturer in China rather than make them actually in-house is because of the dramatic cost difference. We attain a substantial cost reduction when we have our shoelaces imported. Our main supplier, Jinjiang Jackson Group Company, Ltd, is an expert in manufacturing with over 20 years of manufacturing experience. And we chose to do business with this particular business over the rest because this supplier accepted smaller shipments instead of the massive order quantities that some of the much larger companies around may require.
Hi, my name is Catherine Horton, and I'm going to be talking about the methods of transportation and the carriers we plan to use for our import plan, and the itinerary that will go along with our shipment. As you can see, our supplier is located in the Fujian province of China. This region is also known as the shoe capital and is only 10 minutes from the airport. Being on the eastern border of the country and along the East China Sea, this location makes transportation very accessible for our product. Being so close to the sea and the fact that our product is not of high value, we plan to ship our product by ship from Asia to our warehouse in Portland, Oregon, where the laces will then be matched with their specific shoe and sent out for further distribution and sales. In the Fujian province, there are at least 5 medium-sized ports that can ship into the port of Portland using the Pacific route. When taking the Pacific route, the ships will go through the south of the East China Sea, then they go northward through the Sea of Japan, and then enter the North Pacific Ocean. Via this route, the ships can enter the west of Latin America, the west of the United States, New Zealand, Australia, and Western Canada. This particular route from East Asia to the western part of the US usually takes about 12 to 18 days with a ship capacity of 500 TEUs. For our cargo carrier, we have chosen to use a well-known ocean carrier, COSCO Container Lines, out of Asia. They have low rates with medium shipping transit times. COSCO has over 84 international shipping routes and 23 domestic services connecting 162 principal ports in 49 countries and regions across the world. And with more than 400 agencies beyond China, COSCO can deliver cargo to any destination safely and timely. To ensure our freight is handled with care from start to finish, we will be using a freight forwarder. We have chosen to use C.H. Robinson, who is one of the largest third-party logistics coordinators in the world. Using C.H. Robinson, we will be able to minimize risk. They look closely at our commodities and use their expertise to help ensure we are paying the appropriate amount of tariffs, duties, and declared values when we ship our product. At the same time, they help us conform to existing government regulations and stay ahead of changing compliance laws. This way we are not blindsided by all the changing laws when we are trying to ship our product. With all the variables and challenges that importing creates, their streamlined approach to customs clearance can mean less risk, fewer errors, and reduced costs for transporting our goods. C.H. Robinson also offers less than container load services so that we can keep ordering costs and holding costs low when placing large shipment orders or small shipment orders. Using this LCL service and C.H. Robinson, we have had quite a few advantages when shipping our product, such as pooled freight volumes result in lower rates, improved service, and less handling of your freight, so that we are not just paying to ship less. This way we have better efficiency when ordering as well. We have the ability to choose from convenient weekly departures between most major ports, depending on when we need our freight. Using their Navisphere system, we are able to see where our shipment is at any point in transit, and we are also able to use the EDI locator to see if there's anything wrong with our shipment that maybe they need to tell us as well. We are also able to minimize delays with cross-customer LCL consolidations and reliable service using strategic consolidation hubs located in Asia, India, Europe, South America, and North America. If we need any expedited shipment, they are able to offer air and ocean transportation, streamlining our day-to-day paperwork management. This will allow us to have faster payment terms and get paid quicker, and have delivery confirmations with our bills of lading and invoicing. And lastly, they offer the advantage that we can add cargo insurance options for additional peace of mind if we need to. When the shipment reaches the Port of Portland, we will be using C.H. Robinson's drayage service to load our cargo onto a truck and then to our warehouse in Portland. This way, we have someone watching our load from the point it leaves Asia until it reaches our warehouse in Portland, and we do not have to communicate with different carriers around the world. Those are going to be our methods of transportation and our carriers used. And then this next picture is an example of Costco Shipping Line's itinerary for when they ship through the Panama Canal. Our itinerary for shipping from Asia to Portland will look very similar to this with some added details. It lists the vessel name and the particular port that it will depart from, and each day of the week that it will depart. When actual times are set through our 3PL C.H. Robinson, we will have a more detailed itinerary that shows departure and arrival dates and times, along with the expected locations during transit. This way, on any day of our transit, we will know where our goods are, and we can communicate with C.H. Robinson at all times to make sure there are no issues with our loads.
My name is Macy, and I will be going over the documentation, packaging, and labeling requirements necessary for importing goods. There are several types of documentation needed for the import process. One of the first is the shipping order. The shipping order is a document with details of the cargo and the shipper's requirements, and is the basic document for preparing other transport documents. It is prepared by the shipper and transport companies. Another document needed to import is the bill of lading. The bill of lading is an evidence of contract between the shipper of the goods and the carrier. The customer usually needs the original as proof of ownership to take possession of the goods. There are two types: a straight bill of lading, which is non-negotiable, or a negotiable or shipper's order bill of lading, also called a title document, which can be bought, sold, or traded while goods are in transit and is used for many types of financing transactions. The bill of ladings are prepared by the shipping company. One of the last import documents needed is called the packing list. The packing list is a list that provides information needed for transportation purposes and the fullest details of the goods, including packing information. The packing list is prepared by the shipper. Along with documentation, there are also a few packaging and labeling requirements for imports. For textile and apparel products sold in the United States, they must be labeled with the following information: the fiber content, the country of origin, the manufacturer or dealer identity, and the care instructions.
Hi, I'm Sebastian, and I'm going to be talking about the intermediaries used and the terms of payment and sale. First off, we are going to need to use a custom broker, since no one in our company is familiar with the laws and regulations that go along with importing products from China to America. This option is a little more expensive than doing it ourselves, but if we were to do it and mess it up, the fines or even late/missing delivery would be costlier than paying someone else. We decided to use GOS Bush & Company, Inc. out of Portland. They will help us navigate laws and regulations that apply to the transaction of planning, including licensing, calculation of taxes, duties and fees, and etc. This custom broker also facilitates communication between us and the government. Since we are new to this area, the government would usually not help us out on how to deal with the laws and regulations, so an expert is needed. The other intermediary we need to use has already been mentioned earlier in this presentation, C.H. Robinson. They will be used to get our product from the port to our facilities downtown. Finally, I'm going to discuss the terms of our sale and payment that we have worked out with our supplier. We worked it out so that we have to pay half of the shipment's worth before it is shipped, then implemented a time draft in which the terms are we have 45 days to pay for the rest of the shipment. There was also a term that which we cannot have more than 2 shipments worth of payments outstanding. If this happens, then we will not receive the next one. This concludes the presentation of our import plan. Thank you and have a good day.